Will anybody show up? That's the question. I guess I'll wait a little bit and then sign off if nobody does. Oh, hey, somebody actually showed up. I'm shook. I'm shocked. Hello, Elfbot. I've got a shoe here that I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. I'm painting the buckles. I don't know how to hold anything because I'm not like talented at this. I'm painting the buckles to make it look better. That's our first activity. Are you crafting or are you just watching? I'm using, what is this? A Faber-Castell Metallics. This is what I'm using to do it with. I did a little test. It's working out pretty well. UK ready for bed. Totally get it. Sometimes it's nice to just watch something like this before bed, though, you know? You can't see anything I'm doing. I'm going to hold it up so you can see. Oh, I can't do it like this. It's too hard. Very smart. Yep. I feel like all the metallic accessories are very plain and just like a little jazzing up. It's totally blown out on camera, but a little jazzing up helps them a lot. And I feel like the caddy boots, I remember seeing them and being like, wouldn't those be better with a little bit of detail on them? Absolutely. Would highly recommend. I have a Posca pen here too. This would actually probably work better. If you're going to do the caddy boots, like a thin silver Posca might be a better choice. But this is the only thin pen that I had. So, as you are the only person watching this right now, what dolls are you into? Wait, are there more people? Are there 4 people watching this? What dolls are people into? What are people excited about? What about new releases? Tell me everything. Well, I'm super excited about the Barbie Basics You Create kit. I know I talked about this on the channel, but I just think it's such a great customization opportunity for people. And I'm really looking forward to those, being dispersed into the world. That's probably the thing that I'm most excited about in the fashion doll world right now because it's just something unique and different, you know? Anyone else excited about anything? What else are we excited about? What are we not excited about? Did anybody watch what's her name? Peachy Daydream? Is that what it's called? No, that might be somebody else. Peachy. She does doll news. Did anybody watch her MGA video that dropped last night late, I think? Because she was talking about some Rainbow High stuff, and I was like, oh no. Because I was on board, man. I was on board with the reboot. I liked the craft dolls. And then all of a sudden, they're like, there's going to be clear legs that you can stick slime into. And I was like, and you've lost me. I feel like I was like one of 3 people that were excited about Rainbow High still, and now I'm completely not on board because I don't want to put slime into a doll's legs, and I especially don't want legs that have no capacity for mobility. I'm collecting a lot of stuff. I love secondhand. Secondhand dolls are the greatest. I would be more of a secondhand collector if we had any like secondhand stores in New York City. It is so difficult, excuse me, to find dolls here in New York City, especially secondhand, but like just generally speaking, I feel as though I They have a few in the Targets. There is a Macy's and there is a Toys R Us, and there haven't been. And then there's like an FAO Schwartz, and I can't think of any other place to buy dolls. Right? Doesn't that sound insane? From what I'm gathering, the legs of the Rainbow High dolls are just clear plastic, and you get slime with inclusions, which I suppose is the exciting part, and you just like shove it into the legs. Why would you want that? I don't know. I feel like the first slime dolls were like okay, you know what I mean? Because they were still full dolls, and then the accessories you put the slime into, and that's sort of fine. But the doll's function is now being inhibited by the slime? No. No, absolutely not. No, thank you. Not for me. What else am I excited about or not excited about? Does anybody else? I believe there are still 4 people watching this. Does anybody else have anything that they're excited about or not excited about? My pen's not working anymore. It's done. I'm gonna have to pull out the Posca. What a tragedy. Well, it started. Didn't come prepared, as I never do. All right, here we go. Trying the Posca. It's kind of thick, so I have to be careful. Oh, it works much better though, doesn't it? Well, if you're into Shadow High, there was some good news in that video about Shadow High, because apparently they're releasing 2 collector dolls. I can't remember the characters. It was the one that was all black, and then one of the ones that was like kind of white and grayscale. They're calling them collector dolls, but they're going to be in the $30 price range, which makes me think that they're just like regular Shadow High dolls, you know, like what we used to get. But that's still exciting. There's also going to be like a budget Shadow High release that's coming out, so that's going to be cute. I mean, at least they're not totally giving up on Shadow High like we all thought they were. That's nice. Unfortunately, like the main Rainbow High situation is not good. Yeah, the slime legs are unhinged. Why? Why would you want that? I don't know. I just feel like in the TV show used to be so good too. Like I know I'm an adult and the television show was made for children, but like they would always do some sort of spoof of something that was, you know, adult related, like Project Runway or Eurovision Song Contest. And so it was just so cute and well done. And now the show is literally like, we go to a fantasy slime world. Yay. What a delight. What fun. Hello. Welcome. Brian. Is that right? Welcome to the chat. Oh, and Tina, welcome. For anybody who's just joining, I am working on some Barbie accessories. I am trying to make the buckles on the shoes silver, and I don't know how to put it in the frame. It's backwards. So there it is, looking much better. These shoes are from the, oh my god, she's a Barbie. Probably should have done research before I came here. She's from a Barbie extra doll. Yes, Barbie extra doll. And she's got like a really cute outfit. I have the whole outfit here. These boots are going to be for a restyle on my channel. So that's going to be coming soon. So stay tuned for that. I really needed to get all this stuff done before I did the restyle. And I was like, might as well just hop on a live and try. We'll see. I've never done one before. And there were 7 whole people here. That's way more than I thought. Thank you for coming. Now that there's a few others, are there any doll releases that people are super excited about? Fun to watch. Ooh. Super fun. Somebody's working on a doll too. See? This is what I came for. To work on our dolls together and talk about dolls. What dolls are people excited about? Oh I messed it up. Things got out of control. Ooh, Style by Design number 3 just opened her. If you didn't watch the video, that doll was literally made for me because I'm a 60s girl. I love the 60s. I used to dress like it was the 60s every day of my life. And when that doll when it was like this much of the stock photo that dropped, I was like, she's for me. It's Steffi. It's in 60s clothes. That's, is it? Yep. I would say the Styled by Design number 3 by Bill Greening is my favorite doll I've bought in so far this year, and it's really high quality, which is nice to see from Mattel. For the Wicked Part 2 dolls. Ooh, Wicked Part 2. Am I gonna go crazy this time like I went with Wicked Dolls 1? Ooh, I don't know. I feel like I need to make the right choices about Wicked 2, you know, instead of absolutely going insane and buying every single one. I still need to watch that movie. Haven't done it yet. If you can hear the noise, it's because I live in an apartment building and everybody's really loud. And this is the quietest building I've ever lived in. Oops. Really went out of the lines on that one. What other dolls am I excited about? Astronaut Barbie. She's coming out tomorrow, I think. You know, she's a reproduction from 1965, and she's got the American Girl hair, like the bob, and she's blonde. And I've always wanted that Astronaut Barbie, and they had done one, a repro, and I was going to buy her like many times, but I never did, so I'm excited to get another opportunity. What else? Ooh, Integrity Toys, just got into them this year. Not that I just got into them. I used to buy them like secondhand prices off of eBay naked at like outrageous prices. But then I learned how to actually sign up for the W Club. So I'm in the club now, and I did buy, well, you know, you put the down payment down. So I down paymented on that cute pink Poppy Parker that comes with a dog. Gonna be so funny. Yes, integrity dolls are really expensive, but I feel like, in my opinion, and this might be a crazy opinion, I don't know, but when you compare them to Mattel dolls, and Mattel dolls are maybe like a little bit less price range, but the quality is outstanding every time. You get a lot for what you're paying for, and it just feels like a higher quality experience. Now I know like they make it feel like a higher quality experience, but big fan of Integrity Toys dolls. I've never had one that I don't like. What else are we excited about? I was just talking about the new Rainbow High that I saw on Peachy's channel with the slime legs. That's unfortunate. What else are we excited for? And I've already mentioned my literal favorite thing, Barbie Basics. You create kits. Is anybody else excited about those? Like, are there customizers out there that are like, yes, this is for me? Because that's how I felt when I saw it. So excited about those. Too scared to commit. Totally get that, because like I had previously been like, do I want it? Because it's kind of expensive, right? I think the integrity, like just to sign up, it's $50. But I feel like if you get one doll, it's kind of worth it. If you get a couple dolls, it's more worth it. You know, just dead air. I already bought that Astronaut Barbie off of Amazon because I thought, you know, with Mattel's great shipping experience, that I could get it faster off of Amazon. We'll see. We'll see who gets them first. How did everybody start getting into collecting? That's a great question. I'll tell you how I started getting into collecting if you haven't heard the story. My friend, well, I was kind of like into dolls, a little bit into dolls always, but not as a kid, like as a teenager. So when I was really little, I got 2 Barbie reproduction vintage Barbies, you know, like the one with the original face, because I thought she was the most glamorous woman like in the world that I've ever seen. And so I got her twice. I got the Silk and Flame one and, of course, the classic Solo in the Spotlight. I had those since I was a child, so they've been in my collection and with me still today. But then my friend Jason got, like, super into, like, dolls, I guess. I guess we were kind of both into them. But we started sewing for dolls, and, we just had a couple dolls, and then we started making little stories with our Barbies, and that's how it began for me, and I was really into vintage Barbies for a really long time. I got a bunch of them in my collection. Eventually, I will do a collection tour. It's just my collection's not that impressive, and I don't have very much space. So, I will do that. But yeah, we were into the vintage dolls, the vintage Barbie patterns off of Etsy. Bro, if you like to sew or you want to learn how to sew for dolls, you go on Etsy, you pick up a couple of the digital patterns off there. They teach you how to sew for dolls, and you get cute clothes out of it. It's so awesome. So we're sewing for dolls, and then we get into customizing dolls. And from the customization, sort of moved into the BJD land. And then I was into BJD land for a while because I really enjoy the customization process. Then I got out of dolls again. Oh, should I paint these laces? I don't know. That's what that's looking like, everyone. Let's move on to number 2. Let that dry before I seal it in. So the customizing is really for me. I just enjoy painting on something physical, like you can paint on a canvas, but it's like flat. And I like to paint on something that's like tangible, like in my hand. So that was appealing to me. And I like that you can kind of do the whole thing with the BJD, like can start from literal scratch and make like exactly what you want out of them. So that was appealing. And I got sort of out of fashion dolls for a while. But then I got back into fashion dolls because I was always looking for a project to do, but those BJDs take like hours and days to like work on. And I don't know if I have ADHD. I don't know. But I might. And I have a really hard time working on a project when I know that I can't like complete it or like get to a good stopping point. And so I was like, the fashion dolls are perfect for that because you can do a little hair wash, you can do a little hair restyle, you can do a little clothes restyle, and it takes a couple hours. It doesn't take all day. And so I could do those like before I went to work and like still feel satisfied. So I was really happy to get back into fashion dolls again. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a good time for it because it seems like Mattel is waking up a little bit. I mean, it would have been better if I had gotten into it when Rainbow High was great, though. Collect on the 30th Philippine to play with dolls. Yep, that's a familiar story. Not allowed to play with dolls as a boy, which I think is silly. If you like dolls, you like dolls. It does not matter your gender. Dolls are for everyone. Dolls create a world, a fantasy world that is an escape from reality that you then get to live in for a moment. And sometimes we all need a little escape from reality. That's how I feel. Ooh, porcelain dolls, fancy. I have never had one, but they're very, very beautiful. Anyone else want to share their doll collecting stories? You know what? I also feel really lonely in doll collecting. Like, the internet is fun for doll collectors because I feel like there's so much out there. However, it's so hard to find doll people in person. Like, it's really tough. And New York City is huge, and I imagine there's many doll collectors here, but I literally, physically, in person, know exactly one. And then I met a girl from New Jersey at DollCon. Like, that's who I know in person. And it is, like, a little bit tough because it's like, you have your friends, and some of them wanna be supportive, so they'll listen to you while you, like, ramble on and on about dolls, but, like, they don't wanna hear it. Like, you can, like, feel their eyes rolling even though they're not, 2022 Shadow High Series 1, an excellent start, I think. Always wanted Bratz as a kid. The Bratz. I never got into Bratz, like, I like them. And I would be into them now, and I keep seeing releases of Bratz and being like, "Oh, I want it." except my space is so small, I, like, really have to limit, like, what I choose to collect, so I'm sticking to my Rainbow High/Shadow High and my Barbies and my BJDs. That's as far as I can go because there just isn't the space. 40 years also loves Barbie. That's amazing that you have a friend since childhood that is into dolls. Yeah, my one friend Jason is really like my only like true doll friend that I have. And he's the one that sort of like got me into collecting again as an adult. So grateful. He's also the one that, if you watched my customs video, we did a lot of those customs together. And also with his two boyfriends because he's got two great boyfriends. He and Tim. Love them. I'm, like, kind of flopping, but I can't figure out which way to put it. I'm kind of flopping, but I don't think you can tell. Like, it looks good, right? Sort of. It's because my marker's too fat. But we gotta work with what we have, you know? I feel like I also need to paint the laces. It does look better than it did before because the solid pink is just a lot of pink. Like, it needs something to break it up. I love the drag and doll sort of relationship because I feel like there's a lot of drag queens that are like outwardly online talking about how much they love dolls. Like, of course, there's Trixie Mattel, a classic, and then James Mansfield just started like what is essentially a doll channel. Uh, James is doing like 3D printed dolls, which is so cool. I feel like it's kind of the same thing though, isn't it? Because it's like the fantasy living in a world that isn't quite yours. Like it's a very similar style of like thought processes, I feel like. And I think it's interesting and I love both of those things. Oops, messed up again. Whoopsie poopsie. I also couldn't be moving slower because I'm so distracted. This is why I think I have ADHD. Love a fantasy, exactly. Have a Trixie, Katya. Love that you have a Trixie and Katya, one of a kind, because I also made Trixie and Katya during the pandemic. They're two of my favorites. I feel like they're just so funny and they work really well together. And I feel like they have to be together, which is why I had to make both dolls, you know? Trixie was the one I made out of that Sanrio Steffi that I regret, though. I wish I had just bought a fashionista. I wonder if there's any other. I feel like there are other doll interested drag queens. If you know who they are, throw it in the chat because I need more doll interested drag queens. There's like all those like Integrity RuPaul dolls too. And didn't Monster High do a RuPaul doll? Fascinating. If I have started a Juno Birch. It's in my like bin of things that I started and never finished, and I should finish her because she's already started, so I might as well, right? Sugar and Spice started Bratz Collectors. That's right. I remember that from RuPaul's Drag Race. I love Juno Birch. Her YouTube channel, where she does the Sims videos, it's so funny. Yeah, I should finish that custom. When? I don't know, because I've got 7,000 projects. All of them started and none of them finished. Makes me laugh. Are you guys like that, or can you, like, actually sit down and finish your project? Or say, "I'm gonna do it," and actually do it, you know? I feel like when I say things on my channel, like, I'm obligated to do it, so having the YouTube channel actually, like, helps me get shit done, you know? I don't like to welch on my deals. Very, I like to follow through if I tell people I'm going to do something. The Juno Birch hot dog plush. You know, as soon as that thing was coming out, you know, I clicked on it immediately. Right, right. Hexgian is also a drag queen that does dolls. I meant to mention Hexgian because they were influential in my starting customization. I loved watching their channel. I should probably do the laces, but I feel like I don't want to do them in this color. You know what I'm gonna do? I don't have any colors sitting right here, so we're gonna put this away. I'm gonna Mod Podge over those now. And then I'll do the laces. Ooh, it's kind of dry. This is what happens when you don't come prepared. Oh, I just used this though. I don't understand. Oops, everything's falling. Now I don't remember which one I did first. I think it was the other one. Maybe it was this one. I don't know. This is the one I just did. This is the one I did first. Listen, there's nothing for me except for fun, whimsical, and chaotic. Emphasis on the chaotic, okay? I can't change, no matter how hard I try, and have never tried, but I know that I can't. Thank you so much for saying that, in fact, because, you know, it's an acquired taste, but people like it. Look. Sealing in my beautiful work. Is it the neatest job I've ever done? Can't figure out how to use this. No. But I think it'll be fine once it dries. I've had these dolls that I want to restyle for like the longest time too. And it's just like sitting down to do these projects just has not happened. And so yay, here we are. I'm using the glossy one. I think maybe I could have used the matte, but that's fine. The mod looks. Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I kind of am enjoying like my Barbies being very Barbie. And so I like keeping them in their clothes or clothes that are sort of similar. Or if I end up buying a doll because I really liked the face, then I'll put it in something like there go the sirens. I'll put them in something like Super Barbie because I just like it. I feel like she belongs like that, you know? It was meant to be. I also really want to do more sewing for Barbies, but I'm so backed up on sewing for BJDs. It just like doesn't seem like it's in the cards for me right now. See, this is what I mean. So many projects, so little time. I should show you my whole mod shelf. I've got like a shelf of dolls that are dressed like they're from the 1960s. A lot of them in vintage Barbie clothes, and they look so cute. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a tour video, everyone. I've decided. Oh, it's gonna fall over. The boots don't stand up on their own. Gotta lean them. I'm going to do the tour video. If people are asking. I will not be getting the latest Lucy releases because you have to say no to some things. And even though I really like them, I feel like the ones I have, I like more. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't need them, and I will wait until something comes where I like have to have it. You know? I really like the tan one with the blonde hair, though. She's very pretty. Gotta say no sometimes. I'm also like not good at saying no. When I see something I want, I am very impulsive and I just buy it, which is bad for my wallet. Okay. Coming to an end on these boots here, and then we'll move on to the next project. Oh, yeah. This hobby is so consumeristic, but I don't know. I feel like you can't put a price on happiness, and it brings me joy, right? It really has, like getting back into dolls has, like, done wonders for my mental health. So that is a fact. I mean, yes. I have been less impulsive this year. Last year, I was, like, extremely bad because I had, like, saved a bunch of money and it was burning a hole in my pocket, you know? And I was like, "I want 10 BJDs." So I just bought 10 BJDs. And at the end of the year, it was, like, fashion doll after fashion doll after fashion doll. But this year, I'm not doing that. I haven't done that yet. Hopefully, I won't do that. I also don't have a job like I did last year, so I'm not making as much money. It's not realistic. That's why I'm home on this Wednesday night. Because as a sub, I don't have to go to work every day like I used to. I'm working at Gypsy right now, but I'm a swing, which means that I just go in when people call out. But I learned 4 tracks in 1 month, and, it, like, scrambled my brain a little bit, like, that's a lot. And then I go in during the days, and I prep the clothes. So that's a delight, doing a lot of sewing at work, which is probably why I don't wanna do any sewing at home, you know? Just capping this Mod Podge back up, and we're moving on. I have a belt. It's from the same clothing set. It's this green, fluorescent green belt, but, I can't figure out how to do it. The outfit was wild, and I loved it. And so what I wanted to do with this belt is hang things off of it because I think that she didn't have enough and she needs more. Now we're all little bits. There they are. I found them. So the first thing I'm gonna hang off the belt is this gummy bear, because why not, right? And what I have to do to make it fit is pull this thing off and put a different one on, and then it can just clip onto the belt. And then if it doesn't work out, they can just clip off. How long have I worked in theater? Such a long time. I would say 12 years. A long time. Well, that's how long I've worked on Broadway. I worked in theater before that, like, years. So long. It's all I've ever done, so I have, like, no other skills now, and so it's really hard it would be really hard for me to find another career because people don't understand what our job description is and how it relates to so many things. I'm like a glorified babysitter for adults is basically my job. I hope nobody I work with is watching, probably not. They're all at work. Perfect. I'm really into this, like, that aesthetic that's, like, the most, you know? It's like when you put everything on and none of it goes together. I did a bunch of BJD clothes recently in that aesthetic. I don't know why, I just really like it. Maximalism. It's how I live my life now. Okay, there we go. The gummy bear is now hanging off the belt. So cute. And then her theme is sort of space. She's got like an alien purse, but also like 1,000 other things. So I have these little space charms. I'm going to stick a couple of those on the belt too. But which ones? Definitely the alien face because that makes sense. I would love to work in the West End. Probably couldn't get a visa, but also they don't pay as much as Broadway. And I don't know, I'm gonna spill some Broadway secrets right now. Wardrobe people oops, I don't know what that was. Wardrobe people don't get paid hardly anything compared to everybody else that works on Broadway, so we already be struggling in these New York City prices. It's wild. Like, a stagehand gets paid, like, $60 an hour to literally do nothing. There's a person that works in that building that their only job is to turn on the lights, and they're getting paid $60 an hour to sit there, to turn on the lights at the end well, turn off the lights at the beginning of the show and turn on the lights at the end of the show. And we're running around carrying stuff around, being emotional support for people. We're sewing, we're prepping, we're doing this, we're doing that. Nothing. Now, they do load in shows and need actual skills like electricity skills and building skills. Whereas, like, technically anyone can sew, but still, the emotional burden. As a dresser, I do repair costumes, but not large alterations. There's a different person for that. A stitcher would technically do like large alterations. I would be the person that would replace a hem or like sew a snap back on or sew a button back on. And I do stitch, obviously. So, like, sometimes, like, if I'm too lazy to walk all the way to the wardrobe room, like, I'll do a bigger repair myself if I can by hand. But, I don't sit down at a sewing machine as a day worker or a dresser. That wouldn't be my job title. It's all unionized, so there's different jobs. They're supposed to do different things. I think maybe the spaceship. The alien head in the spaceship. That seems right. Great. So now they're so little. Are you going to be able to see it? There's the alien head. Here's the spaceship. Nope, you can't see it because I can't figure out which way to move it because it's opposite. Nope, nope. There we go. Spaceship. I'm just going to clip those guys onto the belt. This is going to be great. Are you still working on your Pasha Pasha doll? You know what? The work on BJDs is technically never done. I have not touched my Pasha doll in a while. That's not true. I did redress her recently, but I don't have any like active plans for her right now. I've got a lot of dolls that need like actual work, and she's kind of here's the thing. The Pasha doll, I've got a couple of other ones up there. They're just sort of more like a standard 16-inch doll size. And so you can like mass market buy them clothes. So they tend to have a large wardrobe where some of these big ones over here, like I need to make them clothes that fit them. And I don't have clothes that fit them. And I need to do it. Like this girl in that outfit. I made a whole video about it that's coming out soon, but it's bad. I need to make her an outfit, but I don't have any fabric or I don't have the right fabric, you know? What other BJD projects am I working on? That girl needs a new dress down there. That dress is a pile of crap. I think I'm going to hang 2 off of one. It's really bad. And her mother is arriving probably, I would say it will come next month. I'm getting a Teeny Tinker's Raven to be cast as, I don't know, are you guys Mayfair Witch fans? You know the series by Anne Rice. These are what these dolls are based on. So that's Mona's child, Ataltos. And then Mona is also a child, but she also has a kid. And that girl is her child. And so I need to make them like cute matching dresses because that's what I want to do because they look the same age. So gotta get on that in all my spare time. But like honestly, I do. So I think I can cheat though. Any of you guys sew and know the Hanon books? I'll grab one. I will leave the frame and go grab a Hanon book and show you what I'm talking about. I hope I put that on the right way. So there's these books. They're Japanese, but you can get this one in English. And they're amazing resources for doll sewing. And they come with all the patterns in them. And then they'll tell you exactly how to sew it. And all of it is in color. There's a dress in here that I can cheat with, I'm pretty sure. In one of these books there is. But I think it's this one. And I think it'll fit both dolls. Like something like this, altered, so it doesn't have the panel in the front, like make it look a little cuter. A little more modern, because that is cute and I've made it before actually. That doll up there is wearing it. So if you're a doll store, excellent resource. It's like got like 1/4 scale patterns in there, 1/6 scale patterns. There might be something even smaller. So some of these will probably fit Barbie too. Did I do that right? Well, you can't really see it. I don't like it. We'll just leave it like that. So that's what it looks like. I just hung a couple of things off of it. I don't know. I feel like it needs more, but I don't have the right charms. Cute. Awesome. So this next thing was like the main thing that I was gonna do on this live stream, but it's unsavable. I got this really cute outfit. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it out so you can see what it is. It's everything's gonna fall. Uh-oh. Cool casual fashions for Barbie. So this was the outfit. But these are made out of that pleather material from the 90s, early 2000s that like cracks. So I was like, maybe I can fix it. My fixed job looks chunky and terrible. There's just no fixing these. So instead, I'm going to pull them apart and make a pattern out of them so I can sew her a new pair of pants because I like the shape of these. So that's my next activity. Will I finish it? I have 20 minutes before the hour's up. Maybe we'll stay on a little longer if people are still chatting. I don't know. I lost the scissors. Is that what fell? Hello? No, that was a pencil. Lost my tools again. Here they are. They're right next to me. Everything's fine. I have basic sewing skills. Into making clothes for adults. I would highly recommend. It's pretty fun, especially if you don't do it for a job. At the time I started, though, I was doing it for a job, and I'm still really into it, you know? Like, look, this is what's happening. It's just terrible. I've restored so many of things that are of this material, but these are just really unsavable because they're disintegrating in my hands, which is sad. But it's exciting that I'm finally going to make something that I'm going to put on one of my dolls, one of my fashion dolls. I haven't done that in a while. It's everywhere. 10 on 10, wouldn't recommend. Don't buy this one. I should have got a seam ripper. That's fine. No worries. Anybody new here and want to talk about doll releases that they're excited about or doll releases that they're not excited about? I feel like this fashion pack was from the early 2000s, which tracks because everything was made out of this back then, and I have so much of it. I got this really cute outfit. It was like one of them Twiggy outfits from them fancy dolls to honor maybe, and it was made out of this, and like just the nipples like touched the plastic of the packaging and just ripped off, and I can fix that one. But if it deteriorates anymore, I won't be able to fix it, so that was sad. If your pleather has not cracked and you're worried about it cracking, I would recommend you conceal it with Mod Podge and it will hold up a little bit better. That's how I usually restore it if I have a problem. I did it with all of my Xena dolls. So, and it looks okay. I feel like it sometimes pulls a little shiny even if you use the matte one, but I would rather have it be shiny than look like this. So what's the Be Goths? Oh, wait. Did you guys hear about the Hyde dolls? Anybody hear about these? They're like in the prototyping phase, and it's this like LGBTQ plus sort of inclusive brand, and they're like spies, they're living a double life. This is the storyline behind the line, and the dolls look like absolutely incredible. Like, there's a boy doll, and his theme is pink, and he's dressed in this, like, amazing fashion outfit, and he's got, like, amazing bag, amazing hair, he's wearing makeup, and he just looks so good. Well, all of them look good, but I'm, like, specifically thinking about him because I've never seen anything like him mass market before, and I'm not even sure that that's what this is. But if you have not seen them, check them out on the internet. Hold on, I'll put a link in from the Instagram because I'm very into this. Hide Universe. You have to see these. They look crazy. I don't know. I have no idea what size they are. It's very unclear. They're prototyping presently. We don't even know if they're going to be released, basically. It's a question mark. But the dolls look so good. And they remind me of like Rainbow High in a way because they're in the color theme and their fashion is so fashion. I've never seen anything like it other than Rainbow High, like in a very specific period. Like, they're incredible, but the boys are also fashionable, which never happens because even in Rainbow High, the boys took a hit on fashion. They look so good. I can't believe, like, that wasn't the first thing I said. I'm just so into it. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna be made out of. Somebody said that they're prototyping them in resin, and it looks like they're 3D sculpting them. They are amazing. There's, like, a couple YouTubers that, like, I guess Hyde had reached out to and been like, "Hey, do you wanna talk about our dolls?" So they did, and the people seem genuinely hyped for the dolls. I mean, there's nothing not to be hyped about. They look amazing. The blue boy is gorgeous. He's one of my top favorites. Pink boy is my favorite, and then that green girl. And I really like the purple girl as a trans character, and blue boy, he's my next favorite. I can't remember any of their names because I don't know. If you follow me on the channel, you know I don't know anyone's name and I can't remember, which is terrible. It's a character flaw. The coat is so good. Like, every fashion piece is so fashion. And they look a little bit like, I guess they live in a fantasy land, but they all look like a little bit post-apocalyptic. And that's like one of my favorite fashion styles. Yeah. With the pink coat. The pink coat is outstanding. It's just really hard to actually get on the doll. I bet if you stuck her in another body, it would be easier. Maybe I should rebody her. Hi, from British Columbia. Dina, welcome. Yes, she is so gorgeous, and Steffi is one of the greatest face molds of all time. You know why I love her? Steffi, the Barbie face mold, because my favorite face has always been the original because if you were here from the beginning, I told the story. But as a child, I thought she was like the most glamorous, beautiful woman I've ever seen. Barbie, the original face. And I feel like Steffi takes that original face and sort of makes it more versatile by like taking out the sculpted eyelash. You know what I mean? She's got like a very similar nose. She's got like a different lip, but it's like a pursed version. And then she's got that like eye well that you can like paint anything into. I love that. I love it so much. Great face. Are there any Barbie collectors here that have a favorite Barbie face? Anybody want to let me know what their favorite Barbie face is? I'm going to cut this. This is what I've done so far. I'm going to take this and cut it. I get it. There's seam allowance there. We'll add that on later. This is what we're looking like. An absolute garbage pail. I'm just going to take this apart and then do a front and a back, and that's all I really need. It's made a giant mess. There's pink stuff everywhere. And I want to, like, cheat and keep this Barbie tag and sew it into my pants because that's fun. Just cracking every second. Yay. Ooh, number one. Brunette. Ooh, good outfit, good doll. I would kill for a Barbie number one, but I feel like so would other people, and that's why they go for like $10,000 at auction. Anybody have a Grail doll? You want to know what my two Grails are? These are crazy Grails that are literally thousands of dollars. A Color Magic Barbie. She was from like 1965 or 1966, and she had like a hair play gimmick. She may have been the first hair play gimmick doll where like you put a product in the hair and it dyed the hair to like an unnatural color. So one of them was yellow and one of them was red, and I'm like obsessed with her like in every way, shape, and form. I can like see something in my hair, but the hair product like degraded the hair, and so they're very rarely in good condition. They go for thousands of dollars. My other Grail, African American Francie. You thought the other one was expensive. Francie's like $4,000. I'll never have her, but like, if I could have any dolls on earth, any fashion dolls on earth, those would be them. 90s Superstar mold is your favorite. That's a good one. It's a classic. That's the one, kind of the one I grew up with, so I completely get it. She's a cutie. When she was like pretty before Millie came along. Just kidding. I don't actually hate Millie. I'm just tired of looking at her, you know? Uh-oh. If that had fallen on the ground, it would have been over. I'm so far away from the ground right now. The paper that I was going to make this pattern on is covered in pink stuff. But that's fine. If you saw what my patterns usually look like, you'd understand why, because they usually look bad. And only I would be able to make clothes from them. The thread is fighting me. It's really trying to hold on. At least we know the pants were sewn well. Like, they weren't going to come apart. Yay. That's that 2000s Barbie quality. Ooh. Retro Dimensional Vanessa Perrin from IT. I want to look her up because the word retro makes me think she's fantastic. That's a good one. I like wasn't super into dolls as a kid, and I got like a little more into them when I became a little bit older. But I know I had Barbies, but I like to like customize them, and by customize I mean like color their hair in with Sharpies and rip their heads off. But I do remember having one, because they were all girls obviously, but I had one black Ken that I like coveted because I thought he was so cute, and he was like the only boy, so he was like everybody's boyfriend. That's the only doll I like remember, you know what I mean? I feel like the rest of them were probably just like regular blonde dolls, because they all were back in the day. I hope these are like still the right shape. I don't know. I'm gonna look her up right now because I want to see what she looks like. Retro Dimensional Vanessa Perrin. Vanessa Perrin. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. She's giving Dita Von Teese. She's very stunning. She's got a full red leather sort of outfit. Here she is. That's a good one. Her hair is like very 1940s inspired, and so is her outfit, but it's modern because it's got like little eyelets in it, and then she's got like armor on her arms and a giant bow. That's a perfect doll. I can see why that would be somebody's brow. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of grails is the price makes them just completely unachievable, which is sad. Broken Dolly TV did that thing where it was like the doll what ifs, and one of them was like find your holy grail for $5 at the thrift store, or like have an unlimited budget to go shopping on Mattel or something like that. That was the comparison or the grouping. And I was like 100% find my holy grail at a thrift store for $5. Like I don't need a bunch of new Mattel dolls. Holy grail all the way. The pencil's what fell on the floor, and that's what I need right now. 350. It's a lot for a fashion doll. Oh no, it broke. Oh. Okay. Tragedy has struck. I can make this work. I don't know if I'm drawing on the front or the back of the pants though. Are they the same? Kinda. That's the front. I feel like there go the sirens again, everyone. I feel like the Integrity toy dolls are pricey, but if you can get them not secondhand, which is hard, then they're a lot more reasonable, you know? Because I was buying, back in the day, I was buying them naked ones for like hundreds of dollars. Why was I doing that? Glamour Ozdal, I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna look it up right now. Well, as soon as I finish drawing this pattern. This is the front. I can already tell it's gonna be too big because of the way I drew that. This is the back. Oh, the tariffs will make the prices go up. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. Especially because I feel like, well, I'm thinking specifically about BJDs right now. But I can't even imagine what it's going to do to that. Especially for small artists, you know? Because it's like if somebody is a small artist in a different country, and now all of a sudden, in addition to paying hundreds of dollars for the doll, there's like tariffs and all the stuff. It's going to hurt people. Oops. That's the back, right? Yes, because the back would have the Velcro on it. So there's glue stuck. There's glue stuck to my paper. It's written on the back of track notes from Gypsy. And it looks like garbage right now, but we're going to fix that with a proper pencil and a ruler. It's easy. You can fix them. Let's see. I'm looking up Glamour Ozdal right now because I don't know what they look like. Oh. That's not what I asked for. Ooh, pretty. I see a price tag of $340. That's a lot, but she's very beautiful. Can you hear that dog going wild outside? I think it's a dog that lives in my building. Every time it sees another dog, it like freaks out. Yeah, that's the problem. You fall in love with the dolls at first sight, and then this won't work. And then there's no going back. You just have to buy it, you know? But I'm super impulsive. I feel like other people are probably better than I am. Oh, look, Shrek the Musical, 2008. That was my friend's pen. She should probably get it back. So I'm just tidying this up because it looks really terrible. Yeah, I've seen, like, the prices for Playline dolls in Europe and other places are so insanely high, and I'm like, "Wow, I can't believe it." Like, I don't know, does anybody follow Dripped in Plastic? I know they're Australian dollars, but they be paying, like, 80 Australian dollars for some stuff, and I'm like, "What's that mean?" Like, what does that mean? That seems like a lot. I don't know. Yeah, well, we'll probably end up getting having customs charges on everything now too because Donald Trump's the president, but, whatever. No worries. Um, these both need a hem, but I didn't leave enough space. That was folded out, so that's fine, and the rest of it was folded out. This already has seam allowance on it because I drew it with the seam allowance, except at the waist. See, the mermaids are very expensive in this country, and I am obsessed with them. I don't know if you people have been following, but I'm obsessed with the mermaids because I think they're the funniest dolls ever made. They're ridiculous, and I love humor. And I love them so much. And in the UK is the place where they released the Slumber Party dolls. They didn't release them here, and we can't get them here for a reasonable price. And it's not so much the price that's bad; it's the shipping. It's always the shipping. Oh my god, the gem doll. Oh, she was such a find. I knew that she was gonna be at Walmart, and I happened to be in the suburbs at the time, and I'm like, gotta go to Walmart to see if they have the gem doll. And I got her, and I would say she's probably my next favorite thing that I've got this year so far, next to Style by Design number 3, obviously. She's perfect. But that gem doll is so good. First of all, the face, it looks like a straight out of an 80s cartoon. And second of all, the articulation. It's incredible. Hello, Dollbird. Welcome. We're going to have to end it soon, but I am going to finish this pattern off and show you what I've done. And then you can stay tuned because I will be making the pants. I may have time tomorrow if they don't call me into work. And then I'm going to do that restyle soon. So that's going to be exciting. And you'll get to see the shoes and the pants. Well, nope, those are two different dolls. So eventually you'll see the shoes and the pants. I know. That's the thing about the mermaids. Nobody wants them, but for some reason they're still extraordinarily high in price, and I just can't understand why. I want them, but I don't want to pay. All right, I'm putting a 1/4 inch seam allowance on this, except I don't have space down here. That's fine. We'll just fake it. I'll just cut extra fabric when I cut out the pants. And I can tell they're not going to line up, but I'll fix it later. Okay. Yeah, this was so fun, and I'll actually, if there's time in my life on a night where I'm not at work, I'll definitely do it again because there's always projects to do. So here's the pattern that I've made out of the garbage pants. It looks a little garbage right now, but I think I can fix it. I just need to make all the pieces sort of match together, which I gotta cut them out and everything. So once I do that, we'll get a pair of pants. And then, of course, here's our boots that we've done today, looking a little bit better. I think that the laces need to be done, but I think I don't know what color to do, though. I'll think about it. The laces will get done before I do the restyle. And then, of course, here's the little belt with the dangly bits. Those are the projects that we got through today in 1 hour because I was distracted by talking. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, this little chat and this little craft time. I hope you either, had a relaxing time or got a craft done. It's great. And yes, COVID with the shipping was after COVID where everything went crazy. My Instagram, I'll drop it right here in the box. Let's see if I can figure out how to find it. Hold on. Home. And here we go. Here we go. There's the Instagram. Thank you all so much for coming, and stay tuned for all of these things on Restyles. And it's going to be a wonderful time. Bye-bye.